Hey, Jules Bliss Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. Happy Saturday, people. I hope it's a good one for you. I'm busy doing life. My husband just bought a tractor from 1940. Tractors are amazingly expensive. I don't know if that's your life or not, but this one is from 1940. But the guy like rebuilt the engine. It stokes right up, and my husband was like, "Yeah, let's get that." So it's super cute. It's actually really cute, and for the size property that we have, it should be just right. So anyway, we're just out there. Our horses got their feet done, which is fantastic. Only one caused a little bit of pushback. And I'm just busy taking care of the house and rejoicing in God's mercy. We have beautiful roses right now. My plum cherries are coming about. Rosemary, which I can still smell. I just love the smell of rosemary. It's so powerful. And too many flies. What is your natural remedy for flies, people? I mean, I know some things resist, but my gosh, we've got flies. It's going to be one of those seasons. All right, but I am here to talk to you about time management, which is definitely an area that I struggle with. And I want to do a few different ones. I always do my videos for me and hope that they'll, impact someone. So I have this really good article on time management, and it just gives some tips on how best to go about it, which I love. So it's called A Brief Guide to Time Management. Time management is the process of planning and controlling how much time to spend on specific activities. Good time management enables an individual to complete more in a shorter period of time, lower stress, and leads to career success, which is a hyperlink. I welcome all of that. I Part of it, I mean, there's no doubt I have to take a couple hours a day to drive. There's no doubt I go to bed far too late, but part of that is for time management. I often get things in. I get things in on time. I arrive on time, but I arrive just on time. I get things in just in time. And, there's a lot of stress with that. There's a lot of stress with that. So I am open, to just talking about it. I was kind of looking in the search for Jules Bless Vegan, and I've done many things on like goal setting, smart goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, like all those kind of things. But I didn't see anything in there for time management. So I'm happy to do this little series on time management. And yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. So that's things like, to-do list, which I generally don't keep, a calendar, which I keep in my head. When you actually plan and do steps towards things, oh my gosh, what I pull off in the last minute, while I'm grateful that I have the ability to do it, it is not my best idea ever. Okay, so benefits of time management. The ability to manage your time effectively is important. Good time management leads to improved efficiency and productivity, less stress, and more success in life. Here are some benefits of managing time effectively. Number one, stress relief, so important. And I get it. When I'm living on the edge, when I'm doing things last minute, I do get more stress, than I should put on myself. So I'm happy for that. Every once in a while, it'll occur to me, maybe I should have done that in steps. Maybe I should have broken that down into chunks. Maybe if I had done a little here and there, right? I mean, come on. I'm 2 years younger than God. I've been learning about this forever, but I'm not there yet, and that's okay. Okay, so it indicates making for stress relief, making and following a task schedule reduces anxiety. As you check off items on your to do list, you can see that you're making tangible progress. This helps you avoid feeling stressed out with worry about whether you're getting things done. I do love tangible progress. And one of the things that I think that's why I enjoy like doing dishes. I mean, it's so immediate, right? You've got the mess and the chaos. You get them in the soap, you get them in the water, you got them in the dish drainer. It's very efficient. It's something that you can measure as a successful thing done. And I like that. Like there's certain things with housework that I can measure the success in that moment. And I really do love that. So maybe I would do okay with a to-do list. I just remember early in my teaching career, I dared to write down all the things that were required of me and all it was so many things. it gave me a heart attack. Like it's stuff that I would have done anyway, but it like gave me a heart attack to see the list. So I've never been much of a list girl that way. But I'm not totally close to the idea. Okay, number two, more time. I love this idea. Good time management gives you extra time to spend in your daily life. People who can time manage effectively enjoy having more time to spend on hobbies and other personal pursuits. And, that's kind of the funny thing is that, of course, I'm going to fill in the time because I'm not a person who just rests, right? Not really. I'm not saying that I've never slept in or taken a nap. I certainly have. But, if there's time, I'll fill it in with other things. And that's why I'm often up until 1 or 2 in the morning because I've done what was required of me with the family. I've done what was required with me of school. And now I want to do the fun stuff. And that's just things for me like Jules Plus Vegan. But it's not I can still be far more efficient. You can see that I'm starting to rub an itch and I can tell that I did not wash either the hay or something off me well enough. But bear with me anyway. All right. So, yes, I'm open to more time. Number three, more opportunities. Managing time well leads to more opportunities and less time wasted on trivial activities. Good time management skills are key qualities that employers look for. The ability to prioritize and schedule work is extremely desirable for any organization. And again, I can appreciate that. I think about how many times where I was supposed to really be working with a team but for me, in my chaos, it was easier for me to just pull an all-nighter and get it done. And that's not fair to the team. It's not fair to myself either. So I get that. I get that. Number four, ability to realize goals. Individuals who practice good time management are able to better achieve goals and objectives and do so in a shorter length of time. To be fair, so often my husband will be like, that took you forever. It's not that it took me forever. I was playing. I was doing like other things, right? I got to be honest about that. I just say, well, I'm special ed. Things are harder than you think. And no, I'm playing. I'm up to no good. Okay, list of tips for effective time management. Let me see if I can save this because it's actually a good one. Save image as. I may put this for the icon of the video because it's a good one. But of course, I've already included this article, right, in the description of the video. I'm really good about that. So, after considering the benefits of time management, let's look at some ways to manage time effectively. Number one, set goals correctly. Number two, prioritize wisely. Yes, so does this really matter? Number three, set a time limit. I like that a lot. And I try and do that. Like when I'm doing report cards, which I just finished for kids, there were progress reports. Sometimes, I mean, I will take forever because I get super perfectionistic on like comments and data, and I pull in every element, and it's like, okay, you get 10 minutes per report card, okay? Which I mean, come on, that's still like 6 hours because it's going to be, 5 hours, right? 30 10, 300, 60 times 5, 300, right? It's still hour after hour. But anyway, I try and limit myself a little bit. Okay, number four, take breaks between tasks. I love that too. I put on a bunch of weight this year and I've been dealing with it. And I've been playing with my different diets and things. And I'm trying to find my way. Yay, Annie Beard, you found me. It's kind of funny. I didn't see you because I'm flipping between the article and the thing. But I was like, guy, at least Annie Beard should find me. Oh, you're at work. I'm so happy. Girl, you are a diehard. Yay to Annie Beard, people. That is 101 Annie on Instagram. She has amazing content on all things raw vegan. You guys find her, seriously. But Annie, thank you so much for saying hi, even from work. And what I was wondering is you still do houses, but like on Saturday, is that houses or is that offices? Because I know you indicated you do office buildings. I would most certainly prefer an office building, if I had to get in there and clean. But girl, you're a blessing to me. I'm talking about time management, which you can totally relate to. I think you're much better at it than I am. But yeah, time management, it really does matter. So take breaks in between tasks. What I was saying was, so I put on a bunch of weight this year, And part of it, I realized, they say that if you're sitting a lot, it's equivalent to like a pack of cigarettes a day. Well, obviously, I have to drive for a couple hours a day to get to work and back. And then, even though the children are back, we're really heavy on using computers and stuff. And so I'm often sitting, putting in the content to the big smart, monitor that they're all looking at. And then I do walk around to see the kids and stuff, but I realize I have been sitting far too much. So what I've been doing, even with my homework at night, is stopping. Like, do that half hour, set the timer, get out there and rebound for 5 minutes or whatever, and get back in. I need to take those breaks between tasks. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I'm so glad. She's working in an office today. That is lovely. But yeah, it's a great service. It's a great service. I look around my house and just go, what I wouldn't do to have someone just get in here and freshen it up, and then I'll maintain it. I'm not there yet. But anyway, you're awesome. Awesome, Annie. That's why I call you that. Okay, and number 5, organize yourself. Well, ideally, right? Maybe we need a video on how to best organize ourselves. Come on, that's wide open. They're going to give us more information. Number 6, remove non-essential tasks. Yes. I do a lot of petty things, and it's like, does this even belong to me? Is this even my responsibility? Like, what am I doing? So, yeah, get rid of the riffraff, if you will. And number 7, of course, plan ahead. Okay, they are going to go through these, and I love that they mention a SMART goal, okay, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And please go up into my search and put in SMART goal, because I've done an entire video on that. So number 1 is set goals correctly. Set goals that are achievable and measurable. Use the SMART method when setting goals. In essence, make sure the goals that you are doing are very specific. Make sure they're measurable, like in terms of time. Attainable, is it even something you can do in this lifetime? Relevant, like who does it matter to? How's it going to improve your life? And finally, timely. So I do appreciate that. But again, I have a video on that already. Oh, I'm so glad, Annie. Thank you. She says it's great talk. You know me, I always do these for myself, but I'm so happy if somebody watching goes, oh man, that's exactly what I needed. Any element of this, anything to ease our life with time management. And again, I kind of suggested this is going to be a little bit of a series for me. Um, People, I think you need to wait. I think I locked my husband out. Hold on. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm in the middle of this. Hold on. I didn't know I locked you out. Okay, that was brilliant. Oh my gosh, I locked my husband out. You gotta love that in real time. In real time. Okay, that worked out. I knew the dogs were fussing, but they fuss anyway. And then I thought he was going to come through the front door. So then I was just like, wait, is someone knocking? Yes. Okay, got it. Okay, number 2, prioritize wisely. So if you prioritize your task based on importance and urgency, for example, look at your daily task and determine which are important and urgent. Do these right away. You think? Important but not urgent. Decide when. So you're not going to blow them off, but decide when you can get that done. Urgent but not important. Delegated to other people. So brilliant. I have other people in my life. I have other people who are willing to do things. But again, when you're not well organized, it's really hard to be organized enough to delegate, right? And that's why so often I put it all on myself, or pull those all-nighters, or stay way too late at work, or feel that I have to be there at 6 a.m. and all those things, because I'm not organized enough to even delegate. Okay, so I so get that. And finally, not urgent and not important. Set them aside and do them later, or do them never. How about that? Do them never. Yeah. I know, on purpose. So true. Okay. Number 3, set a time limit. I love this. Set a time limit. One thing I did get better about this year was on my smartphone, I made several alarms throughout the day. Everything from what time's library to 5 minutes before recess to 2 minutes before, whatever. And those little alarms going off, taking roll and all those things helped me a lot. So I do want to give myself a shout out for at least that, because that was a tool I hadn't used in the past, and it did help with my time management. Okay. So, setting time constraints for completing tasks helps you to be more focused and efficient. Making the small extra effort to decide on how much time you need to allot for each task can also help you recognize potential problems before they arise. That way, you can make plans for dealing with them. For example, assume you need to write up 5 reviews in a time for a meeting. However, you realize that you're only able to get 4 of them done in the time remaining before the meeting. If you become aware of this fact well in advance, you may be able to easily delegate writing up one of the reviews to someone else. However, if you hadn't bothered to do time to check on your task beforehand, you might have ended up not realizing your time problem until just an hour before the meeting. At that point, it might be considerably more difficult to find someone to delegate one of these reviews to, and more difficult for them to fit the task into their day too. And I can appreciate that because so often at school, the office will totally get a hold of us for what has become an emergency for them, and it becomes our emergency. So it's like your procrastination cannot be my emergency. I've got my own agenda, and I have to remember that for other people. My procrastination and my insanity and my desperation can't be put on someone else as their emergency. I don't know if you're familiar with that for real, but I so get that. Okay, take a break between the tasks. When doing a lot of tasks without a break, it's harder to stay focused and motivated. Allow some downtime between tasks to clear your head and refresh yourself. Consider grabbing a brief nap, going for a short walk, or meditating. And I think part of that is having the motivation to come back to that task. Like sometimes I'm afraid that if I stop now, I'll never finish, or if I stop now, I won't come back to it, or whatever. But if it's a planned break, and this is another thing I've gotten better at this year, even with my students, is what's having what are called brain breaks. And again, if you go up into my search bar and put in brain breaks, I actually did a really good video on that. And it's the importance of just breaking up whatever you are to challenge your brain to go in a different direction a little. And they say when you come back, you can focus even better. And so again, I sit way too much. I know this. I'm setting a timer so that I can get out there and exercise for 5 minutes or whatever before I come back. So I appreciate that. Number 5, organize yourself. Utilize your calendar for more long term time management. Write down the deadlines for projects or for tasks that are part of completing the overall project. Think about which days might be best to dedicate to specific tasks. For example, you might need to plan a meeting to discuss cash flow on a day when you know the company's CFO is available. Yeah, again, almost all of my calendar is in my head. It's in my head. I know that's dangerous. But yeah, unless someone puts me on a calendar, it's all here. And it is something I've considered, but every time I buy a calendar, I don't keep up with it and I just end up throwing it away. So I don't know. I'm not there yet, but I appreciate revisiting it. Number 6, remove non essential tasks and activities. So important because when you talk about having real estate in the brain and in the burden of having all of these things parked in your mind, if you will, removing some of that is so much freedom. So, non essential tasks and activities, it's important to remove excess activities or tasks. Determine what's significant and what deserves your time. Removing non essential tasks and activities frees up more of your time to be spent on genuinely important things. And that kind of comes back to, does this belong to me? Is this my responsibility? Is it somebody else's? I tend to be over generous in my heart, and I help a lot of people that I'm not required to, and it's a boundary that I work on. Number 7, plan ahead. Make sure you start every day with a clear idea of what you need to do. And a lot of people say start this the night before. Get that to do list the night before so that when you're sleeping is already planted in your mind. What needs to get done that day? Consider making it a habit to, at the end of each workday, go ahead and write out your to-do list. I love this. I've been saying at school a little bit at the end, straightening my classroom really quickly and quickly writing down a list of what I need to remember. So that when I'm lying in bed at night, it doesn't suddenly come to me and wake me up. I know it's on that paper. I'll be all right for the next workday. And that way you can hit the ground running the next morning. I love that too. Um, yeah. Annie's on to me. My husband and I just suddenly bought a whole kitchen and decided we're going to do it ourselves. And that kitchen, yeah, redo of the kitchen suddenly, and when and where and how. I'd like to apply all of this time management to that so that I don't accidentally, because that's another thing I struggle with. I give my all to something and everything else starts falling apart. I need a little balance, and that's why I'm willing to do this. Yeah, that is totally why I'm willing to do this. Plan ahead and focus on the present day. I love that, Annie. So implications of poor management, time management. Here's what can happen. I'm sure these are all true for me. Let's also consider the consequences of poor time management. One, poor workflow. The inability to plan ahead and stick to goals means poor efficiency. For example, if there's several important tasks to complete, an effective plan would be to complete related tasks together or sequentially. However, if you don't plan ahead, you could end up having to jump back and forth or backtrack in doing your work, and that translates to reduced efficiency and lower productivity. And of course, I completely agree. I always have to make sure I'm focusing on the one thing because I'll do a little of this, a little of that, and a lot of nothing, right? Number two, it's wasted time. Poor time management results in wasted time. For example, by talking to friends on social media while doing an assignment, you are distracting yourself and wasting time. Absolutely, right? Like, get it done. It's kind of interesting for me, though. I know I intentionally waste time sometimes because I'm kind of just like resting in between. Like, but I always tell my students too, that like, can we listen to music while we work? Can I be doing this and this while? And I'm like, you guys, just get it done. And then you can have some free time. And like, it's crazy. I'm talking to myself. When I'm talking to them, I'm talking to myself. Okay, number three, loss of control. By not knowing what the next task is, you suffer from loss of control of your life. That can contribute to higher stress levels and anxiety. I agree. Number four, poor work quality. Poor time management typically makes the quality of your work suffer. For example, having to rush to complete tasks at the last minute usually compromises quality. I mean, of course I know, and I'm hard on myself. Most of my work is often better than the common person, but how much better could it even be, right? Poor reputation. If clients or your employer cannot rely on you to complete tasks in a timely manner, their expectations and perceptions of you are adversely affected. If a client cannot rely on you to get something done on time, they will likely take their business elsewhere. That is so bad. I'm so lucky that I don't have to be accountable to anybody like that. But in all of my life and even now, again, it's not ideal, but I'm one of those people who will go to any lengths to get it done and to get it done on time and to stay up all night if that's what it takes. But it's just not the better way. And for anybody who's like that, where you're always kind of struggling to get it done, or missing that deadline, just make sure you're communicating. People are so much better if you're just honest and you communicate. It's being blindsided with them expecting you to fulfill an obligation and then you don't. And that I can honestly say is not my story. I am not somebody who genuinely lets people down. But I remember when I was doing my master's program, my life often got in the way of a due date of an assignment. And that's because my husband and I really participate in life. So injured animals, injured humans, sick this, sick that, whatever. And the greatest grace was me communicating with that professor in a timely manner and letting them know what was up. They were so much more gracious than me skipping the assignment and the temptation to lie. Like, why, people? Why? At the end of the life, we're accountable to God. So to not have to lie and just be straight up on what the situation is always the best policy. All right, my friends, I'm going to continue with time management in my next couple of videos. Annie Beard, thank you for stopping in. As always, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, just know that there's tools out there for the taking. And for today, it was time management. Know that you're blessed.